YOLO, my fellow human beings, and welcome to episode 72 of The Best Blessed Life. I'm your best host, Kristen, and today's topic is Buckle Up, Barry, I'm in love with blue. Before we get started, I want to thank you all for watching. Please continue to watch, comment, share, like, subscribe, ring the bell, and please pass them on to anyone you think that they could help. With that being said, let's go over our to-do list for today. So we're going to do the positive words from the week. We're going to make a blueberry buckle dump for your slow cooker. And then we're going to talk about what tools are you working with. And I'll get more into that when I'm actually talking about it. Okay, so let's do the positive words from the week, and then I'll go over the recipe with you real quick. Okie dokie. Hope everyone had a good week. I did. Look who I saw on Saturday. I can't get the picture. Saturday. Billy Joel. It was freaking awesome. That's all I have to say. And I love my kids ever so much for giving us the wonderful gift. We had great seats. We rocked it out. It was awesome. So, thank you guys.
Welcome.
Peyton said you're welcome. Okay, they both did actually. And then Jordan asked me to compare the face-to-face concert with Billy Joel and Elton John together with this one, and I said I really can't because one had these phenomenal musicians. This one we just went to on Saturday. Phenomenal musicians. And the other one had Elton John. So, phenomenal musician. So, what do I say about that? I can't say apples to oranges, but I can say Macintosh to Fuji. I don't know. So, take with that what you will. Okay, positive words. Real quick, go. And of course, I had to pick words I will not be able to pronounce because, you know, that's how I roll. So, for my... that's the wrong day. So, for Friday the 24th, it was consinity, the skillful and harmonious arrangement or fitting together of the perfect parts of something. Studied elegance of literature or artistic style. Saturday was verdant, abundant in plants and flowers to show green growth, lush. For the 26th, which was Sunday, it was Vorfreude, the joy, intense anticipation that comes from imagining future pleasures. The 27th was Natsukashi. It means of some small thing that brings you suddenly, joyously back to fond memories, not with a wistful longing for what's past, but with an appreciation of the good times. It says a lot, right? Maybe that's why they don't have to use as many words. Okay, Arcadian is the 28th. Idyllically innocent, simple and untroubled by fear or worry. Wednesday the 29th was Sulit, something that is worth the effort, with value or well worth it. And today is Quaintrel, a woman who emphasizes a life of passion, expressed through personal style, leisurely pastimes, charm, and cultivation of life's pleasures. So, what do you say about that? Us women are going to start kicking some ass. That's what I do know. Okay. So, the recipe I'm working with today, she calls it a blueberry dump cake. I call it a blueberry buckle. Some people call it blueberry cobbler. But for the sake of the title, we're calling it a buckle. Okay, so here's our recipe. And you know, I'm making it with you for the very first time, right in front of your very eyes. I would say that I still had an issue with the cinnamon bites from last week. Still a bit salty, even with the little bit of glaze we made and more cinnamon sugar. So I would have to say that reducing of the salt, maybe even altogether, might work better, or very minimal salt. Okay, so for today, like I said, we're making a dump cake. And it calls for 2 cans of blueberry pie filling, which I have an asterisk by, 1 box of yellow cake, which I have an asterisk by, half cup butter melted, which I have an asterisk by, 2 teaspoons of vanilla, half cup chopped pecans, which I don't quite have half cup, but it'll work. And you're going to need your crock pot liner greased with a non-stick cooking spray. And then we're going to pour our pie filling into the crock pot. And we'll start with the mixing bowl in a second, but I want to tell you what the asterisks are, or what we're substituting. So for the 2 cans of blueberry pie filling, I myself made homemade blueberry pie filling. And that was 2 of the pints of blueberries. All right, let's just say 2 cups. They wanted 2. I doubled it. I made 4 cups of, because you need 2 cans of the pie filling, and it's 21 ounces each. So I kind of came close. I'm going to be a little less than they call for in the recipe. The next asterisk is for the yellow cake. I actually don't, it's yellow, but I'm using a butter golden. That's the only difference there. And of course, instead of half cup butter, I'm using a half cup melted coconut oil. And I will explain to you, and I about had a heart attack because I didn't believe it to be true, because I'm usually a pretty good person that pays attention to when butter's on sale. And I am literally out of butter. I cannot believe it. I had about 10 pounds of it in my freezer, and it's gone. So, and I didn't know it until I already had decided I was making this recipe. So I'm showing you right in front of your eyes that, again, that is why I had to substitute. I didn't have that particular ingredient. And then the recipe for the pie filling was also lemon juice, 2 tablespoons for the 4 cups of blueberries, and that I used lime because I didn't think I had lemon, and then I found out I did. But this is fresh squeezed lime as opposed to bottled lemon, so can't even really complain about that. And then 2 tablespoons of sugar. I used maple syrup. And also 2 tablespoons of cornstarch and 2 tablespoons of water, as well as, well, let me explain it. So you're going to get your saute pan, or your saucepan, sorry. Put the 4 cups of blueberries in and 2/3 of a cup of water. Then you're going to bring that up medium-low temperature for about 5 minutes or so, because you're letting the blueberries kind of pop open. At that point, then, you're going to put in your 2 tablespoons of maple syrup. I'm sorry, that was 2/3. Oh my goodness, what was it? I forgot to write it on here. Oh, that was for the other recipe. It was 2/3 of a cup of maple syrup, not 2 tablespoons. I apologize. That goes in after you've brought the berries and the water up and they started popping. You're stirring pretty much a little bit as you go, and then put the sugar, your sugar substitute, what have you, in there. And then you're going to put your slurry of the 2 tablespoons of water, the 2 tablespoons of cornstarch, and the 2 tablespoons of lime juice. And you want to make sure there's no clumpies or anything in there. And that is going to kind of create your gooey glaze, kind of. All right, so that is what I have in here. And they tell you to put the lid on tight because you don't want a skin on the top. And there's my lovely blueberry pie filling. And that goes in the base of your liner. So we're going to dump that in. Ah, I got it on my hand. Yummy. It's so pretty. It's such a pretty color, too. All right, the next thing, so good. Okay, so then the next thing is, in the mixing bowl, you're going to combine the cake mix, the butter, and the vanilla, and mix well. And then you use your fingers, and you're just going to kind of crumble it on the top of the pie filling. And then you're going to sprinkle the pecans on top of that. Pecans, sorry. And then she demonstrated, because you get condensation from making any kind of recipe really in a crock pot, and you don't really want the condensation to ruin the cake texture and make it too moist. So she took like 2 layers of paper towel, put them on the top, rested it on the top, and then put the lid on. And then she says check it halfway through, and we're cooking it for 3 hours on high, so you're going to cook it about the 1.5 hour mark. Check and make sure that your paper towels aren't damp. If they are, you want to replace them. I want to make sure I remembered everything. Yeah. Okay, so that's it. So we got that set. And then in our bowl here, we're going to put together, I felt something sticky. And I thought I got it on my brand new t-shirt. Do you love my t-shirt? Yes, we saw Billy Joel at Notre Dame. It was so cool. The kids got it for us for our anniversary that was just in October, but the concert wasn't till now. And I don't think I relayed that very well on Facebook and Instagram, because everybody was wishing us a happy anniversary, which I don't mind one bit. Trust me on that. But I didn't want to mislead you into thinking that it was my anniversary. So, there you go with that one. All right. And then you're going to mix the cake mix, the vanilla, and the butter. Vanilla. And I guess it helps if you have something to mix it with, like a spatula of some sort. I said to myself before I started, I said, oh, you got everything. I say, ha. I just want to make sure I measured this out correctly, because I don't want to use too much. And they wanted a half a cup, and I already had a third of a cup. So I was eyeballing a half a cup. If that makes any sense. Okay, let me see if I'm at least close. I don't want to go over. Oh, I see I would have. Well, quite a bit actually, so I'm glad I measured it out, because it's a half a cup of butter melted. So that goes in here. Okay. And then we're just gonna mix it up. Mixy. It's interesting there's no eggs in this. I guess it comes with the... Don't you use eggs on this? Yeah, 3 eggs. So it's almost going to be like... what are they? I don't know. It has so many different names, I feel like. And depending on what fruit. Like, if you did this with apples, you'd probably be calling it a crisp. You know what I'm saying? I know you know what I'm saying. Trying to get them so that everything is covered in the, and it's stuck on my spit. All right. On the spatula. Okay. So we're gonna get started talking about what I mean by what tools you're working with, and this can apply to anything. I feel like what do you have in your arsenal that helps you to deal? And I'm not just talking about like issues or, I'm just talking about everyday life, like how you roll. How do you make yourself as organized, and because I need to know as well. I'm like in this mode where I just need to get all the crap out of my house. I just don't want to deal with it anymore. And so I'm like to the point where, do I really organize it, or do I just throw it all away? I don't want to throw away important things, but so that's what I mean by tools. Like, I know some people are like the most organized people. I think even my daughter is way more organized than I am, as far as how she sets up her planner and everything. But I, on the other hand, I try to set a schedule, and it just doesn't want to be set. Don't ask me why. But other tools I'm talking about too. So for example, if you're talking about nutrition, what kind of tools are you using to help you get the best nutrition? Are you somebody that plots out their meals and makes sure that you're getting the healthiest of ingredients and that kind of thing? Or are you buying the candy and the cookies? And I'm not saying that's wrong. I'm just saying maybe we could plan it out even better. What tools can we use to help make that a little not easier, but maybe easier to grab healthier things, as opposed to how do we get our hands on a candy bar when a lot of times fruits and things like that can come off. Oh, that was the other, I'll talk about that. Can come off as quite the pieces of candy if you do it right. Okay, so now we're just supposed to crumble this on top with our hands, basically. But, I mean, I'm not, believe me, I am far from perfect when it comes to eating. And, frankly, if you told me that, you know, you can't buy certain things anymore, ice cream for one, I am an ice cream freak from way back. I don't know, it just brings happy memories for me too, I think, is what part of it is, you know. So it kind of looks like pie crust, is really what it looks like. And we're basically I'm just kind of rolling it between my fingers, and it's just essentially just kind of falling apart in little clumps on top of our blueberry. I'll hopefully be able to show you without tipping it and making it dump all over the counter, you know, because it's so deep. But I'm also talking about exercise. Like, what do you have in your arsenal? What can you do? What makes you feel comfortable? You know, what tools are you using? I'm getting it under my fingernail. What tools are you using that you can, I mean, you don't have to go out and buy a bunch of fitness equipment to work out. You have cans. One of the episodes we did, Peyton helped me with it, is we demonstrated how to do some exercises with like gallon water jugs. And we did it that way because there's a handle. So what we did was basically to figure out how much 10 pounds of water is just measuring it out while you, I just took out. There's a big plop in the middle here. Like, but that kind of stuff. You can also use rope. Tie rope around something and use it as resistance. There's so many different things that I'm trying to cans, food cans. I mean, if you're starting out light, you don't need like a ton, you know what I mean? So you don't need a ton of equipment, and you have outside, you have stairs in your house maybe. If you don't, think of something you can do like step-ups on. So if you could find a chair, something sturdy, nothing that you're going to fall off of or have slip out from underneath you. You know, you want it to have a good traction or whatever, what have you. You know, I'm going to show you this and it's going to just look like a big old pile of crumbled cake because you're not going to be able to see the blueberries at all. I think you crumble it so once it starts cooking, it'll bubble up through because the picture of it looked really delicious, but it was very berry-y. Berry-y? That's right. Anyway, so then also, what tools are you using to help yourself through, you know, things that you worry about? You know, I ask questions on my Positive Word of the Day post every day in my story on Facebook and Instagram. And, I always would like to hear your comments if you want to send me what, today's question is how do you show your style, But I have asked what helps you to calm yourself when you're worried? Like, these are questions I ask you just because I feel like maybe you have something that would work, Sometimes facing it right away isn't the best way to go when you're not in the right frame of mind, per se. So it's like, what are you doing to help yourself calm, get centered? I know baths help me a lot. A lot. With pain every day, it is crucial that I get in at least, I've cut back a little bit, at least 4 baths a week. And with Epsom salts and baking soda, and I love it as hot as I can stand it. I know that's probably not good for my skin, but it just resets the clock, kind of. And I take that moment. Some people would say, if you're in the bath, you want to relax. A lot of times I use that bath to think a lot of things out, because there's nothing. I mean, I have podcasts or something going in the background, but if it's a thinking day, it's a day where I just truthfully just work out a lot of things in my head. A lot. Okay. My hands are covered. Okay. So it looks like that. I think you can see the edge of it. Like I said, I don't want to tip it too much. And then we're going to sprinkle. This is about half full. I didn't quite have a half cup. I eat these like they're going out of style. I love pecans. I love them. And they're toasted. They're even more delicious. This isn't quite half a cup, but it's going to work out perfectly. I didn't think it was going to make it look as nutty as it does. And I'm very not proud, but I'm very happy that it looks more nutty than I originally thought. Oh, this is going to be so good. You know what else I want to do? See, changing up on the fly. I almost have to say, it has to have, you know where I'm going with this, right? It has to have cinnamon sugar. Sorry, it just does. It's just calling for it. You know me, I have to have some of it somewhere. Let me rinse my hands off here real quick. Oh, this is going to be fun getting this cake mixed out from underneath my fingernails. I'll have a little snack for later. Raw cake mixed with butter and vanilla. Not butter, even coconut milk. Alright. I just wanted to make sure I could pick up my cinnamon sugar shaker. That's fun to say. Sugar shaker. Okay. And I'm just going to do, it's going to be so much better with this on top. Pre-made cinnamon sugar. Like I said last week, I think it was. Yeah, because I made the cinnamon bites last week. I pretty much have it pre-made and on hand. There's so many different recipes, and I honestly have tried most of them. So, I'm going to say this is one dessert that's probably not the healthiest for you. Oh, it smells so much better now. Okay, I'm going to wipe this off, and then I'm going to show you how she put the paper towels on top. And then I will post how it turned out later on. On Facebook, it's Kristen Haas, KristinHass. And on Instagram, you can find me at The Best Life. Okay. All right. So, what was I doing with paper towel? Okay, so she said double layer. Mine come in those single thingies. So there's one paper towel, and there's two. Oh, don't get it wet. Okay. So then, She put it across like this, and then she put the lid on. I guess I could have put the lid on too. I'm not sure how that works. And then we're going high for your 3 hours. Mine does only 4. So that's how it looks. Easy peasy. Ah! I got caught. I didn't do my spin move. Alright. Our blueberry buckle is ready to go. Okay, the other thing I was going to talk to you about before, I'm going to get back to the tools in a second, but I also made I dehydrated some strawberries in the oven last week, and it did not work out well with the parchment paper. So I'm going to keep you posted on how to make those work a little bit better. But more about our weapons, I want to say, our arsenal of things to help us through so many different situations. I know we need people in our lives that can help us through certain situations. I know we need resources at our disposal to help us through certain situations, whether it be illness or financial or personal issues, emotional issues, just mental health in general. We need those resources. We also need resources for young ladies and women, especially now after the overturning of Roe versus Wade. We need those resources for every woman on this planet, and we need them now, especially self-defense, and that's one of my main proponents right now. I really want to teach women how to kick some ass. So that's a tool too. Like, set yourself up for what will help you through any situation. I mean, I know we can't be perfect and we can't be ready with everything, but you can at least have a plan in place for how you can cope or how you can come out stronger on the other side, because you've made it through every other situation so far. And maybe you said to yourself, next time I'm not going to do this, or I'm not going to do that. And you can, hindsight's 20/20, and it's a good thing to go back through and review and say to yourself, hey, I really did okay. I mean, I'm a little worse for wear, but I still handled it the best way I know how. If I had my choice for future reference to myself, I'm not going to let that happen again, and I'm not going to let this happen. I'm not going to put myself... So, if you can play it out and be as proactive as possible, I think that's my takeaway from today. And that doesn't just apply to bad situations. I don't want you to be proactive for something you can't possibly know is coming. But you can be proactive as far as taking care of your physical health, your mental health, your emotional health, your just relationship health. There's so many different angles that we need to treat daily. We let things slide, and I say all of us. I'm not speaking from perfection here. I'm speaking from, I want to know how to deal with this just as much as the next guy does. And did I handle that situation right last time? No, probably not. But here's what I did do for myself. I set boundaries. So think of the positive things first, I set boundaries for myself. I handled it without, stressing about it. I talked it out with friends. I wrote shit down. Writing shit down can be magical. It can be a time where you just get it all out. You don't have to give it to the other person. It might just be some things you just need to say so that you see them physically in writing. Journaling is a great way to work out different things, because day to day you can look back and go, okay, you know what, I felt like crap on Tuesday, but what did I do? I worked something out on Tuesday, because Wednesday I was feeling a little better. So what is it I did on Tuesday or Tuesday night? Oh, I called so and so and they said, hey, let's go do this. And you got out of the house. And so there's so many things we can work through. What's the process you're going to do when you get that phone call? You know, you can't predict that part. That's not what I'm saying. But if you take care of the whole package here, yourself, knowing that you've taken care of every angle, maybe there's something there that will help you, because you've done it before, but like I said, maybe you came out a little worse for wear and you're saying to yourself, damn it, I really wish I had the tools to cope with that by, having a backup person to talk to, or, remembering that I really like to take a walk and go get a coffee, or sit in the bathtub until I turn cold and pruny. But there's so many steps we can take, and we have to help ourselves to visualize them a little better. That's why I guess I'm saying the tools in your arsenal, also just writing those tools down to say, hey, I know how to do this. I did it last time and it worked. So let me try it again, because I know I can tweak it. I know I can make it a little better. And that's true of cooking. Every time you cook, say, okay, I've taken away this bad thing out of it, and it still tastes pretty good. Let me see what I can add to it to flavor it better, to give it some pop. Like just now, I felt like it really needed some cinnamon sugar. Like it was dying for it. So I hope I didn't, I hope I didn't mess that one up too badly. But, and then of course, just exercising. What can your body handle? What can you get through on a daily basis that will make you feel, because exercise is adrenaline. And if you can get that good positive flow through your body, it's a whole different ballgame every day. So if we all work together as a team, right, we should be able to accomplish these goals that we're talking about. Proactively addressing things of our own physical selves, our own mental selves, our own emotional selves, our own relationship selves. And I'm not just talking about your personal relationships with your immediate family or your extended family. I'm talking about your work family. Maybe you have a church family. Maybe you have friends that are family. So I'm talking about all those relationships. If you can make those work, and people are working on both sides of the equation, and we're both productive, like meeting in the middle is just such a nice place to be, if that makes any sense. Like you're both feeling good about the situation. Maybe you had to talk that through. Who knows? Everybody's a little bit different. But you at least have to address what's going on. And I feel like if you're doing that with yourself, that's a start to making things feel a little bit better. Well, I hope that helped. Just remember, you always can substitute. I feel like there's substitutions for everything. I shouldn't say it like that, but I feel there's ways we can work with something if we don't have something. I know I want to put a better word than something there, but I can't really think of what that word would be. You replace it with an idea or an emotion or something of that nature that would help you deal with it a little better. Think of a word. Word association sometimes helps people. If you can think of a word that makes you happy or that makes you feel like you're empowered. I love empowered. That's a great word. So let's empower ourselves with the way to help ourselves deal with as much as we possibly can, and let's help each other through the rest of it, if we can't. Does that make sense? I hope so. All right, guys. Well, that's it for today. I want to thank you for joining me. I love Love talking with you guys. You're awesome. So please come back next time. I think I'm on vacation next week, so don't look for me next Thursday because it's somewhere around the 4th of July. So let's celebrate the holiday and then I'll be back with you. Okay? So with that, I want you guys to have a good day. Go do great things. Be your best self. And please live your best blessed life. Thanks for watching.